What's up, Commanders fans? I got some bad news to deliver to y'all. We've been trying our best to get every single issue we had last season solved. And so far, the most important one that we want right now is defensive end. And the person that we've been trying to go after this whole entire offseason was already taken up and he got signed. And then the second person that we were trying to go after was Trey Hendrickson. And he is a guy that led the league in sacks last season. And the Bengals have to pay him after this season. And he's still on contract. So if he wasn't, I'll put it this way. If he wasn't, we would have been got him. We would have been gave him a big contract and he'd be on the team already. And we probably would have started the offseason probably right after we signed Debo. And we would have got him. And we probably wouldn't had to pay him as much because we would have got him right before the Browns defensive end, Myles Garrett, got paid. So the issue is the Bengals do not want to get rid of Trey Hendrickson. And seeing that they paid Ja'Marr Chase $40 million, and then they also paid T. Higgins $28 million per year. It kind of makes you feel like it's something that's not going to happen. It seemed like, and then of course they would been shopping him around trying to figure out, what teams are giving up for him, and obviously teams aren't trying to give up what they were expecting. So they retracted it and making it seem like they're not trading him. And they basically seen what other teams are willing to give. And they're like, you know what, F it. Let's just find a way to keep him. And of course, they could be, just playing around. Could be trying to bait other teams in to see what else they'll give up, before they re-sign him. Because we are one of those teams that actually need him. And we don't need that kind of crutch that he's going to bring when it comes to money-wise, because it seems like he want more than $30 million. And then we already knew that part, but we don't know how much at this point. It could be, I want to say anywhere from like 35 and up a year. So I don't know if I feel like I want to sacrifice that much money, seeing that we were able to get at least 10.5 sacks with Dante Fowler last season. So, but I understand how important it is to have a defensive end that is good at stopping the run and good at getting to the quarterback. I get it. I understand it. But I feel like we'll be better off going into the draft, and it seems like that's our only choice right now, seeing that we can't find anybody that's really good in free agency. So that's the route that it seems like we're going in. And I don't know. I don't know if we're going to go with, we only have 5 picks, right? And last season we had 9. So I don't know if we're going to end up trading somebody, in return for some draft picks, or if we're going to trade back from the first round, from the 29th pick, and get some extra draft picks. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I know we only have 5 picks and we got to hit on all of them. And seeing that we have no 3rd round pick and no 5th round pick is going to be a little hard for us to hit on guys, seeing that we don't have a lot of guys, a lot of picks in the first 100 picks of guys. So, but that's never been a problem for Adam Peters. He's been able to hit on a lot of picks, and Brock Purdy is one of them. So, and that has never stopped him, even with Greenlaw. I mean, Green, what I'm talking about, the linebacker from the San Francisco 49ers, who he don't play for them anymore. But, it's a lot of people that he hit on and that are not in the first round and not in the first 2 rounds. So it shows that Adam Peters knows what he's doing. 1. 2, it shows that since we only have 5 picks, that we got to do everything we possibly can to make sure we get the best return on our picks. And then also we got to make sure we address the most important issue we had last season. The most important issue was not defensive end, was not offensive line. The most important issue came from the defense. And that came from the cornerbacks. They gave up too much yards. They gave up too many touchdowns. And of course, I know we didn't do a good job of stopping the run, but I feel like if anything, we should go out and let that first pick be cornerback. And if not cornerback, let it be safety, you know? I get how y'all feel about it, but I'm just thinking like, oh, you know what? Let me hear how y'all feel about it. What would you want them to spend the pick on? What would you want them to go out and get a defensive end? What would you want? Because you got to understand, a lot of the guys, by the time we get to the end of the first round, a lot of the good, really, really, really good guys are going to be gone. And of course, you know, there are times where you can find great picks in later parts of the draft, right? Talking third round. And one of those guys that I'm talking about is Trey Hendrickson. He was one of those guys that got picked in the third round, and he really outplayed it. You know, he's not a bust, and he's shown over the last few years, especially with the Bengals, every year with the Bengals he's been to the Pro Bowl. So it shows that it's not all about the first round. You know, it's not all about the guys that you think. So it's all about, you know, it's about coaching. It's about being able to be coachable. And then also just understanding that, all right, cool, this is something that I have to continue to work at. And you have to put the work in. So Adam Peters has a good job, has a great idea on how to find those guys that can actually be star players. So I'm not scared of that, but I'm like, yo, with what we have on the roster right now, I don't really feel like we have that Dante Fowler. But I do feel like we do have somebody that's close to it. You know, I can definitely say Dietrich Wise Jr., who just came here from the Patriots, who has a Super Bowl under his belt, is one of those guys that has getting close to looking like a Dante Fowler for us. And he's been in the league for a very long time. So he has that it factor that we need. We just need a little bit of it. We don't need much, but we need a little bit of it just so we can know that we can get to the quarterback. And, you know, another person I would highlight is Dorance Armstrong. But the thing is, Dorance Armstrong didn't have the phenomenal year that we all thought he was going to have. Because I'm like, yo, with him playing behind other guys when he was playing for Dallas, and he was able to get 7 sacks. I expected him to come here and be a starter and go above 7 sacks, and he went below. So it's a lot into it. And then, you know, he had injuries too that played a role. But it was like I didn't get what I thought I was going to get out of him. And then, you know, we also have Clelin Ferrell, who we brought back that I thought we was never going to bring back. And you know, he was just out there, and seeing that we lost Dante Fowler, I'm sure we had to bring him back. He's familiar with the defense. So it's understandable why he's back. And of course, you know, he still has something to prove. You know, seeing that he didn't meet our and his requirements. And I think he can do better this year. And then we know we just got Jacob Martin. We got him from the Bears. And you know, the only person that's really a first-round talent on this roster, with all the people that we have with Javonte Baptiste and all the other guys I just named, the only person that's a first-round draft pick, and I want to say this to show you that it doesn't matter about first-round draft pick when it comes to every single player all the time. Clelin Ferrell. You know, people forget that. And the crazy part is, he's over all the years that he's played, he has not even made it past I think it was like 3 sacks a season. It was like 3 or 4 sacks a season. And it's like, that proves a lot. That shows a lot. Just because a guy goes first round doesn't mean that he's going to be phenomenal. And, I could even say Dorrance Armstrong and Dietrich Wise outplayed him their whole career. Dietrich Wise is phenomenal, and he was a 4th round draft pick. And Dorrance Armstrong also was a 4th round draft pick. So it also shows you that it doesn't just matter where you got picked at. It's all about work ethic. And if you're going to put it in and you understand the scheme that you're in. So hopefully, and I know it's going to happen. Adam Peters will find a way to get us somebody that's valuable at the defensive end position. Just like he did with the last picks that we had last season. He got us Jaden Daniels. He got us Jerzon Newton. And it's all about hitting on the picks that you have. And to me, if we go down the list of the guys that we brought in last year, who didn't we hit on? Besides guys that got injured, like Dominique Hampton, and then guys that wasn't able to really meet their potential or even show their potential, like Jordan McGee. Jordan McGee was nice, but he couldn't stay healthy. So it's like, for the guys that couldn't stay healthy, the guys that we do have, they've met and they've looked like what we needed them to look like. So Jaden Daniels, perfect, check. Jerzon Newton, check. And it was perfect timing for Jerzon Newton, seeing that we had Jonathan Allen get injured, and the fact that we shipped him out anyway. So, didn't decide to return him. But then Ben Sinnott, Brandon Coleman, check. Come on. Only gave up 9 sacks, and I'm going to give you this. It was his rookie year, and he did phenomenal. And like I keep saying, he played better than the best left tackle in the draft last season, which was Joe Alt. So, and Joe Alt didn't even play at the left tackle position. He played at the right tackle position majority, like 90%, above 90% of the season. So, check. Then we got Luke McCaffrey. He was okay. He got the job done. He still has time to grow. And in my opinion, he was better than the guys that we had on the roster. So I'm not talking about every guy. I'm talking about like the guys at the bottom. Like, when it came to just being reliable and being another target that Jaden can get to and that can find space, yes, him. And I would say he was better than Dyami Brown. But they both serve different roles. Just put it like this: he was good to have as a depth guy. Who knows? He might shoot up the charts. You never know what's going to happen. It's all about that person and what they decide to do. So, and then the role that he fits into. So, and what he continues to show them that he can do. So, with the guys that we brought in last season and us having 9 picks, it just really showed up. And then I can't forget about John Baptiste. We got him in the 7th round. We still ain't seen much from him, but he did get a sack. He did get a sack last season, but who knows? We still have more to see from him. So I'm excited to see what happens, and especially knowing that we only have 5 picks. I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but we know Trey Hendrickson is off the market right now. That door has closed, and I'm curious to see where we go next. And right now it just seems like we gotta hope on the draft. And like I said, the guys that we expected to show up last season did not show up, like Dorrance Armstrong. He only had 5 sacks. And the season before that, he had 7. And Cleveland Farrell had 3.5 sacks. And we expected him to go off, And ever since he came in the league, being a first-round pick, you expected him to go off. And he's never done it. And Javonte Baptiste, only 1 sack. Cool. It's fine. I need more. And Dietrich Wise, phenomenal. It's not, really blow your socks off, but 5 sacks it shows something, and he's got a Super Bowl win, so I can't say nothing bad about him. And he's proven that every year he can stay consistent at getting at least a small amount of sacks. to where you feel confident in him taking the starting role. So, Jacob Martin, we got him from the Bears. He didn't give us, but he gave them 3 sacks, and he's a 6th-round pick. And, you expect those things out of him. But what this team might be? We might be what we were last season, where we just brought in a lot of guys, and they surprised us. And what I mean by that, we brought in a lot of guys, and we signed them for 1-year deals, and Dorrance Armstrong showed up and got us 10.5 sacks. That might happen again with somebody. Maybe even Dietrich Wise. He might be the guy to get us 10. Or it may be Dorrance Armstrong. You never know who it's going to be, because you never know how they're going to fit into the scheme until they start playing and they really get into the scheme and they start to flowing. So it all depends on what happens. And I know we're going to get somebody out of the draft. I'm just not sure what round. And we only have a 1st round, a 2nd round, a 4th round, a 6th round, and a 7th round pick right now. Who knows what's going to happen? We're going to see, because Adam Peters is very smart, and he may be making moves that we not even thinking of. So he might give up, like I said before, Brian Robinson. He might be giving up, and he might be going for a 3rd round pick maybe. Never know. But like I said, y'all, I appreciate y'all. And seeing that, Brian Robinson was 3rd round pick, we might get him for a 3rd round pick. Never know. But I think he's played out his time. It's time to move on. If we can, it's time to move on and find somebody else. It's a lot of running backs in the draft right now that look nice. And if we were to be at the 29th pick and still have it, and we have a chance to get a running back like Travion Henderson. I mean, I butchered his name, but y'all get who I'm talking about. And then or Marion Hampton. I'm excited, so I don't even know what I'm saying. But yeah, either one of them, boy, I can't even tell you, bro. I'd be excited. I'd probably be doing backflips, bro. Butt naked outside, bro. I don't know what I'm gonna do, bro, but let me know how y'all feel. Who y'all think we're gonna get in the 1st round? I really want to know. Do you think it's gonna be on defense, offense? Who do you think it's gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be cornerback, safety, defensive end? Who do you think it's gonna be? And like I said before, I'm out.